everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another what I eat in a day video on Slimming World. We're just about to have breakfast, so we're just going to have an omelette with some beans and things like that. So the time is currently 12 o'clock, we've just come back from a walk, so it's a little bit later in the day to be having breakfast, but it's going to be like a brunch kind of thing, so yeah. I'll just show you throughout the day what I'm eating. If you've not seen one of these videos before, I'm just going to show you what I eat throughout the day and how many syns I wind up using throughout the day, and what and how I make a couple of things. We're on about making the sin-free rogan josh tonight, so while I'm making that I will show you how I make it and all the steps in between it. So yeah, I'll just show you my breakfast now. Right, so this is just my breakfast. So we've just got an omelette with bacon and mushroom, and then just some beans and a cup of tea. So yeah, just simple and easy. Right, so that's us just our breakfast now. I am actually going to start making the sin-free rogan josh. We're doing it obviously with lamb, so I'm going to show you how I roughly make it and just a quick overview. We are also going to be making onion bhajis, which is sin-free as well, and the chicken tikka, like boiled chicken tikka things. So I'll just show you how it's all made. I've already chopped up my ingredients, so I'll just show you how it goes in the pan and things like that. So yeah. Right, so first things first, I'm going to be doing 2 onions, 80 grams of red pepper, which is basically just a full pepper. You could use the one in brine, but the ones that we found were actually syns, so we decided not to do that. So we've just got 1 red pepper, 4 cloves of garlic, and 1 green chilli with the seeds taken out. So I'll just show you frying it up and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is just spraying the pan with some Fry Light. This is just the olive oil one. Right, so in this pan we've just popped the 2 large onions, the red pepper, the garlic and the chilli. We're just frying this off. This is the start of your curry paste. It doesn't matter how big the chunks are, because you're going to be blending. It doesn't matter how big the chunks are, because you're actually going to be blending it down into a paste and then marinating the lamb in it. So this is just the start of your curry paste. I am also going to be adding the ginger in now that it's been just cooking for a couple of minutes and it's just started to go lightly brown. So I'm just popping about that much in. A tiny bit more actually. There we go. And then just mix this into it. So all I did was just let it cook off for a couple of minutes and then just added the ginger. We'll just wait until it goes a little bit more browner and then we'll be taking it off the heat. I love the smell of ginger, it smells so nice. Right, so this is the onions now done, just to like a light brown. I'm just going to take these off the heat and then we will pop them into a dish and then add the rest of the ingredients. The onions, peppers and everything into here, because I am going to be blitzing it up, so it's better to keep it in quite a big bowl. In this case I'm using a jug. I have used a food processor before, but ours is a little bit old and it takes a while to blitz it up, where we have a hand blitzer and it's just so much faster when doing something like this. There we go, so that's just the onions in there, and now I'm going to be adding all the spices into it. So the first thing we're going to be using is some normal paprika. We're just using 2 tablespoons of this. Then we're using some roasted gram masala. We're just using 1.5 tablespoons of this. Then we're using 1 tablespoon of ground cumin. Then we've just got some turmeric. And we're using 2 teaspoons now, not tablespoons. And then we're just using 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then I'm just using 3 tablespoons of tomato puree. Then we're just using a bit of salt and just a tiny bit of pepper. There we go. Before I start blitzing it, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir, just so that then all of the powders aren't at the top. I'm just going to be using the blitzer now and blitzing it until smooth. Right, so it's all blended up into a paste now, so that is perfectly what we want. It's just a nice pasty consistency. Right, so now we're going to be marinating the lamb. So we've just got 1,000 grams of lamb here, just chopped up. So to do the marinade, we are taking 4 tablespoons of the paste. And then we're just going to take 4 tablespoons of fat-free yoghurt. And then just take a spoon and mix it all together. This recipe is actually the one off of the PinchofNom website, but I have just slightly adapted it a little bit now that we've made it a few times. So obviously you find your own preference and how you want things and stuff. So it is really easy to do this. It's not hard. Right, so there's that done, and we're just going to be marinating this now for 2 hours. Right everyone, so now that is the start of the curry made, I'm going to be making the sin-free chicken tikka, which we're going to be having for starter, along with onion bhajis, obviously made. So the first things first, I'm going to be making the chicken tikka seasoning. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's just a bunch of spices and things like that. So it's, as you can see from like the lamb one, they are really quick and easy, and you just bang them in the fridge, leave them to marinate, and then cook them after. So I will show you that. Right, so I'm just going to be mixing all of the spices together now. The first thing I'm going to be using is paprika, and I'm using 3 teaspoons of this. It is very similar ingredients to what was in the rogan josh. Then we're just going to be using ground coriander, and we're using 2 teaspoons of this. 1, 2, and I just need a little bit more just because it wasn't quite 2. Then we're using some ground cumin. We're just using 2 teaspoons of this. Then we're using the gram masala, however you pronounce it. And we're just using 2 of this as well. We've got the turmeric, and we're just taking 1.5 teaspoons of this. Which just looks like this. And we're taking 1 teaspoon of this. There we go. Then we're just taking some garlic salt. we're just taking 1 teaspoon of that. Then we're just taking a pinch of normal salt into there. And we're just taking 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Like so. And then 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder, just to give it a bit of a kick. Just take a spoon and mix it all together. So this is just the seasoning that is going to be going onto your chicken, and we're going to mix this with the chicken in just a minute. So that's just what the colour of it looks like. It does obviously look a little bit like it. It's like an orangey consistency. I'll see if you can see it. So it just looks like that. So now we're just going to be mixing it with the chicken. Right, so we've got the chicken breast all cut up into chunks, and now I'm just going to be adding the juice of 1 lemon all over it, like so. And just use a spoon because it wants to be evenly coated on all of the chicken breasts. Then we're going to be coming back to our tikka seasoning, and we're just using 2 tablespoons of this. 1, 2. And we need to mix this in first before adding the natural yogurt. So that's what the chicken looks like now. I'm just going to be adding in some fat-free yogurt. There we go. So we're just going to mix this all in. Like I said before, like, these recipes are really easy to do. It is just like the prep that takes the longest out of all of it. And it does just prove that you can have nice like things like this even when you're on Slimming World. Now we're just going to be covering this in cling film and placing this in the fridge for at least an hour. I'll probably leave it in a little bit longer just because I'm leaving the lamb in there for 2 hours anyway, and we're not going to be obviously eating straight away, so I'll let you know how long it actually gets left in. But yeah, so that is that finished as well. I will show you how I make the onion bhajis now. Right, so now that the chicken is just marinated in the fridge, I am going to make the onion bhajis. So to do that, I've just got 2 red onions and 1 sweet potato, and I'm going to grate them first, and then I'll show you what the ingredients has been adding to it after. I am going to be using one of these because it makes it a little bit easier, and it'll be in the slices that I want it to be. So I will just show you how I'm making that. Right, so I've just got my bowl here. I've got half of a red onion on this thing now, and I'm going to be grating this into it. So that's just the onion all grated now, so I'm just going to be doing the sweet potato in the same way. Because of the amount of sweet potato to onion ratio I actually have, because it was quite a big sweet potato, I'm actually going to pop another 2, but I'm going to do some small white onions into it, so I've just cut them in half to use it on my grater again. Right, then into this mixture I'm just going to be adding 2 beaten eggs. Next I'm going to be adding some ground cumin. So we're just adding 1 teaspoon of this. 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of the ground masala again, and then just a sprinkle of salt and pepper. Salt, and then some pepper, like so, and then we're just going to mix it all together. I did actually just wind up adding 1 more egg to this mixture just before I rolled it up in bowls to cook it, so it actually totaled 3 eggs. So now that that is well and truly mixed together, all I'm going to do is cover it with some cling film and then just pop it in the fridge until we're ready to cook it. So that is all my prep done for now, so we're just waiting for all the chicken and things to marinate. So that's it. Right, I'll show you the next bit. Right, everyone, so the time is currently 4 o'clock. As you've seen, I've just done all the prep for tea tonight. I am just a tiny little bit peckish. Obviously, we are having a starter, so I don't want to have too much to eat. So all I'm going to be having is just a yoghurt and an apple. So I'll show you that, even though it is basic and everyone knows what they look like. So I'll just show you that. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just having a Muller Light strawberry yoghurt and just an apple, because I don't want to be having too much, especially not when we're having a starter and things, and it's 4 o'clock now. So far today I haven't actually used any syns yet, but obviously that will change throughout the evening, so I'll let you know when I do have some syns. Right everyone, so I'm going to start making the onion bhajis now. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray so I've got a tray with just some grease-free paper on it, and then I'm going to be spraying this with a fry light, and you do put quite a lot on this because you don't want them to stick at all. The recipe just to spray it liberally, so that is what I'm going to do. That's that done now, so we are going to be taking our mixture and rolling it into balls. Try and do them roughly the same size. You can do it where you put it into a round, a baking tray, so it's like the one with the circles in it and things. You can use that if you wanted, but I'm trying it this way for the reason that I've done it the other way before and it kind of stuck to the tray quite a bit, so I'm going to try it this way today. Right, so the next thing I just need to do is spray the top completely with fry light, just so that then they go nice and crispy on the top. We did actually have a little bit of mixture left over, so I've just made another 6 in these silicone trays. So I'm just going to spray the top of this now. There we go, so they're going into the oven now at 180 degrees for 20 to 30 minutes. I will obviously just keep checking on them as they're cooking, just to check them, so I will show you what we're doing with the chicken skewers now. Right, so the chicken tikka has been marinating now for about 2 hours, so all I'm going to do is just pop them onto the skewers and then pop them in the pan. Right, so this is just what the chicken skewers look like, so I'm going to pop them in the pan now and I will show you how we're going to cook them and things. I'm just going to spray the pan with a bit of fry light just so that then it doesn't stick. As you can tell, the pan is very hot, which is what it wants to be. And then we're just going to place the kebabs onto the pan. So all we're doing is doing this to colour each side so that then it goes a brownie colour, and then we'll pop them in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. Right, so now all the chicken is browned off, we're just going to pop them in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. Right, so I'm finishing off the rest of the curry now, so I'm just going to be spraying the wok with fry light. We're going to be adding in 8 tablespoons of the curry paste mixture, just because obviously we are doing the recipe a little bit more. We've got 1,000 grams of the lamb instead of just 500, because we're going to freeze whatever is left. So you just want to mix this around. You want to do this until it starts to stick to the wok. Right, it's started to stick to the bottom of the pan now, which is what you want it to do, and I'm just going to be adding in 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. And then just mix it together. So all I'm doing with this is wait until it comes to the boil, and then we will add in the lamb and the other peppers. And we are just going to be sprinkling in an oxo cube as well. 2 oxo cubes. Just like that. And then just mix it in. Right, now that this is all bubbling, we are going to add in the lamb and the peppers. Right, and then we're just going to mix all this in. And let this come up to the boil again, and then we're going to stick it in the oven. Right, so now this is at the boil, I'm going to transfer it into another dish and then pop it in the oven. Right, I've just popped this in this dish now, and I'm just going to be covering it with some tin foil and popping it in the oven at about 180 degrees for 30 minutes. Right, so this is just the onion bhajis and the chicken tikka. We are going to be having it with just some spiced onions and some homemade riata, which is just mint sauce and natural yogurt. Right, so this is just my starter. So we've got the riata, which I just said is natural yogurt and mint sauce. So there's only 2 syns in the whole dish, so that's like half a syn per person. And then just the onion bhajis and the chicken tikka. So this is just what the rogan josh looks like out of the oven. In total we've actually cooked it for an hour. I know I said half an hour, but it just needed a little bit longer to kind of reduce the liquid down that came out from the meat. So now I'm just going to pop the fresh coriander on top, and then we are done. There we go, so that's the finished thing. Right, so this is just what my tea looks like. We've got the curry, which is the sin-free rogan josh. Then we've got some pita bread, which is actually the beef-free wholemeal pita bread, which is actually healthy extra B, which I chose to use that today. Then we've just got some rice and some salad, just for some speed on the side. Right, so that's me just had my tea now. With my tea, I've also had a glass of red wine, so that is just 8 syns. So that's, for today so far, the only actual syns that I've had is just the half a syn in the mint sauce, what's it called, riata, I think, yeah. So that was just half a syn in there, and then 8 syns for the wine, so 8.5 so far today. The curry was really nice. The only downside it could have done with being a bit hotter. The last time I made it was a little bit warmer, but we can't remember if I put chilli flakes in it or not, but it was still quite warm, but it just not as hot as what we're used to. So yeah, the pita bread was perfect just to dip in. It's a good substitute instead of having a naan bread, because the naan bread wasn't your healthy extra thing you have to sin it, whereas because none of us had a healthy extra, then it's just so much easier to just use that, and it was really nice. We got them from Aldi, and they are the beef-free brand. So this is the end of this what I eat in a day. I did wind up just having one more glass of red wine, but I didn't have a 175ml, I had a 125, which is only 6 syns. So in total today I have had 14.5 syns, which isn't a bad syn count for today, considering we've technically had an Indian, but obviously it's all Slimming World. So yeah, today's been a pretty good day for food. I hope you've enjoyed seeing me like make something If you would like to see me make things in the future, then please just let me know. If you did enjoy this video, then please give it a big like and hit the subscribe button down below, and just let me know if you would like to see more videos like this. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!